Hey guys, Brandon here, and today we're going to learn 7 common idioms that tend to be a bit confusing at first. For each idiom, I will explain what it means, then we'll look at some examples of how to use it in different situations. And we'll end this lesson with a short quiz, so be sure to stick around. Idiom number 1 is to have bigger or other fish to fry. This means to have more important or more interesting things to do. We can say this when we don't have time or don't want to do something we think is unnecessary or unimportant because we're too busy with other things. It's like saying, I don't have time for these small fish, I have much bigger fish to deal with. For example, the governor would like to help stop crime in the city, but he has other fish to fry, like playing golf with his buddies.
Carl, we got a problem. Your sister, 10 years old and doesn't know the meaning of Christmas.
I know the meaning of undulate.
I don't know where you're going with this Christmas thing, Will, but I've got bigger fish to fry. I've got to raise $600 more for my Glee Club ski trip.
Get you $1 if you shave your head.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Come on. Come on.
Finn, don't worry about it. We've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Idiom number 2 is speak of the devil. This idiom is said when someone or something you were just talking about suddenly appears. It's actually the short version of the phrase, speak of the devil and he shall appear, which was used a long time ago to warn people not to talk about the devil. However, nowadays, it's usually used in a more light-hearted way to let someone know you're just talking about them. For example, have you guys seen Sweater Cat's new sweater? It's very nice. Oh, speak of the devil.
Who's the photographer who takes the pictures of Spider-Man?
I don't know who he is. His stuff comes in the mail.
You're lying!
I don't know who he is.
You are useless, you.
Set him down, tough guy.
Speak of the devil.
Spider-Man! I knew you two were in this together.
I knew you. Where's Bang?
Oh, you told him it was urgent.
Oh, where is that man?
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
What the hell is going on?
Let's stick with the devil for a moment. For idiom number 3, which is to play devil's advocate. To play devil's advocate means to take an opposing or unpopular points of view just for the sake of arguments. The noun advocate means someone who supports a particular opinion, and the devil, of course, is considered bad. So being the devil's advocate means you support what is thought to be the bad or wrong side of an argument. However, when we play devil's advocate, we're usually only pretending to support the wrong side. We do this to make the conversation more interesting or to get the person we're talking with to think more about the issue we're discussing. For example, if your friend keeps complaining that his teacher is pushing him too hard, giving him too much work to do, you can say something like, just to play devil's advocate, what if she thinks you're not trying your best and is just trying to encourage you to do better?
Sherry just makes me so mad. She's been giving my number to strange men so they'd call and ask me out.
How dare she? Why would she do such a thing?
Because she says I'm too rigid.
Nonsense.
And that I'd be much happier if I just went out and had sex with someone.
Just to play devil's advocate. What's the point of being an outlaw when you got responsibilities?
Darth Vader had responsibilities. He was responsible for the Death Star.
True that. Two of them bitches.
Just saying. Devil's advocate.
Idiom number 4 is to let the cat out of the bag. This means to reveal a secret or surprise, especially without intending to. For example, John didn't want his boss to know he was looking for another job, but someone let the cat out of the bag, and now his boss is angry. You also often hear the form, the cat's out of the bag, which is used to say that a secret has been revealed. An example of this is, we were planning a surprise birthday party for Anne, but she overheard us talking about it, and now the cat's out of the bag.
Ulani?
I'm good, thanks.
Oh, by all means, go ahead and take it, Ulani. Or wait, are you even old enough to drink?
Yes, Julia, I am, but I can't because I'm pregnant.
You're what?
Oh, boy.
I didn't mean to steal your spotlight, but the cat's out of the bag.
Jim, why didn't you tell me that you had a crush on Pam?
Well, the cat's out of the bag. I used to have a crush on Pam, and now I don't. Riveting.
Idiom number 5 is the best of both worlds. The best of both worlds refers to a situation in which you can get benefit from two very different things. A common example is, if you work in the city but live in the countryside, you get the best of both worlds. A good job in the city and a relaxing lifestyle in the country.
You have no idea how nice it is to have someone who's going to be there for you no matter what, forever.
And you don't know how nice it is to sleep with a different girl every night.
That's true.
You know, you got the best of both worlds, Tom.
No, it's true. I can sleep with whoever I want, but I still get to hang out with Hannah afterwards. It's a perfect setup.
Hey! Wake up!
It took you so long.
What the hell happened?
I was drugged.
Drugged what?
Pudding. It was supposed to be for the clients, but I couldn't resist.
Salted caramel?
Yeah, man. Best of both worlds. Salty and sweet.
Idiom number 6 is to beat around or about the bush. This means to avoid getting to the main point in a conversation. Maybe what you're discussing is an unpleasant or difficult issue to talk about, so you try to make it easier by talking around the issue. An example of beating around the bush would be when you're trying to ask your boss for a salary raise, and you're like, "Sir, I was thinking, I've been working really hard lately, and then your boss might say something like, "Stop beating about the bush. Just tell me what you want."
David, I don't want to beat around the bush. I came to tell you that you're going to stop seeing Nicole. Now, either you're as smart as you think you are and you'll just go away, or else you're going to make things a lot harder on yourself than they have to be.
Well, that was a little uncalled for.
No, that was completely called for. We need quiet.
So your project is more important than mine.
Well, seeing as your project is to sabotage my project, yes.
Don't beat around the bush, Leonard. If you don't want me here, just say the word and I'll leave. Could have beaten around the bush a little.
Idiom number 7 is to have a chip on one's shoulder. One possible origin of this idiom is that in the past, a boy who wanted to prove he was tough would put a small piece of wood or chip on his shoulder. Then he would challenge another boy to knock the chip off. If the boy did it, they would then fight. So if you have a chip on your shoulder, you're always in a bad mood and you get offended very easily. Usually because you feel like you're not as good as other people, or you believe you were treated unfairly in the past. People with chips on their shoulders are very sensitive about something, and they will often become very angry if someone mentions it. For example, Sweater Cat has a chip on his shoulder about not getting accepted to Catnip Hall University, and now he's always starting fights with the college cats there. Or Steve has a chip on his shoulder about being short, and he gets very offended whenever someone mentions it.
David?
You can put me down for 1.
Well, what about Keith? Aren't the two of you,
Yes, we're having healthy affection-based sex on a regular basis, twice a day sometimes.
Why wouldn't you bring him here for Christmas? Are you ashamed of us?
Well, of course not. Keith has Taylor living with him now. They're having their own Christmas. Do you really want them here, or are you just being politically correct?
Of course I want them to be here. If he's someone you care about, then he should be here.
Okay.
I am sick and tired of this chip on your shoulder, David.
Eggsy, Roxy, congratulations. You set a new record. Well done for completing another task. Fallout.
Sorry, sir, but why the fuck did you choose me as the gimp?
Am I the expendable candidate?
No, you don't talk to me like that. You have a complaint, you come here and you whisper it in my ear. You need to take that chip off your shoulder.
Okay guys, those are the 7 confusing idioms for the day. Now let's test your knowledge of them with a short quiz.
Excuse me.
Okay, all right, that's the right idea. But what? Well,
Check.
hey,
Excuse me.
okay, all right, that's the right idea. But what? Well,
Check.
Hey, don't beat around the bush. Tell me what you don't like, because it looks perfect to me.
okay.
Sheriff, did Scott Van Arsdale have any matches on him?
No.
Gas can?
Neither.
Were there any footprints at the scene?
None that weren't obscured by water and mud.
Well, let's assume for the sake of argument that he did not light that fire. Now, couldn't his nervousness be attributed to the fact that your questions presume that he did?
So, how'd you do? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed this lesson, please like it and share it with your friends. And if you're new here, go ahead and click the subscribe button below so you don't miss any future lessons. Thank you for watching. See you next time.